Share the public elsewhere. But
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Very great show there with Jeremiah Sokan, one of the contestants in the vacant seat created as a result of the death of Representative Errol Madison Guion. Today we will have a very short time for our correspondent report. And then we have our man Isaac Jackson. Our man Isaac Jackson, who will join us shortly at 4 o'clock for us to discuss national issues. Many issues here we got to discuss. So I want you to stay with us. I want to say thanks to all those who participated in our
Montserrat County to get facts about the 12.
So I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. So yes, we will be expecting our panelists. Let me put the what you might call in the chat room, the link in the chat room, and our panelists will be coming on here shortly. So we are glad to be here. We are glad to be here, and it is good for us to be here because, as you know, this is what we do. We come on here and we discuss issues. All right, I thank you very much. So thank you very much. The link is in the chat room, and we expect our panelists to come on. But I will first of all like to say that there are so many things we're going to be talking about here today. Definitely, we're going to be talking about stuff. Do you guys know that the government of Liberia dismissed the case against Prophet Key without Julie Andy's approval? Okay, so that's one of the things we'll be discussing today. So we got so many things to talk about. How can the government of Liberia, Honor Joseph Boakai, dismiss a case when the private prosecutress is still interested in the case? That is what we're going to be discussing. And very shortly, I'll be joined by St. Salif, Isaac Jackson, and our man Arthur Solo will be here, and Sheikh will be here too, and we'll dive into the issues that are very important to all of us. I know most of you are also interested in finding out actually what is going on. How is this happening? There are too many other issues we got to discuss today. Again, we're going to talk about the transfer of employees, civil servants. The Civil Servant Administration has issued a strong statement today. But before we do that,
everybody get our own hero. Down to the police. Let's go to A.B. Johnson. Steve Shira. Down to Ali. Musa. Damaruma. Down to all star. Welcome to all the mannings. Namahiro. 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 Yes, Namahiro. Namahiro. Yes, Namahiro. Namahiro. Yes, Namahiro. Namahiro. Yes, Namahiro. Some people got a hero to make a maggie. Some people got a hero to make you. your era, it's your era. My era is my era. Eka, my era, oh, na 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 my era, na my era, oh, na my era, oh, na my era. Yes, they're gonna be so. What about your we are? You got that money. Everybody got an era. Oh God, you know your era is your era. Some people era to make a market. Some people era to be up and down in the street. Some people era to pay the Simon bill. I got my era, it's music era. Oh God, I say, now my hero, now my hero, now my hero, now my hero. Now my hero, 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 now my hero. Yes, I'm telling you today. Time for the men I am of their life. Go down, Wassa, Gaira, Volleyball, Gaira. Senior Senator, Gaira. Representative Master, Gaira. Oh, God, you know. Now my era, oh. Now my era, now my era, yeah. Now my era, now my era, yeah. Now my era, oh. Now my era, yeah. Now my era, now my era, yeah. Now my era. Some got a hero to make market. Some got a hero to be up and down. Some hero to save people. Some people hero to be sell market. Other people hero to be up and down prostrate. Now my hero, now my hero, now my hero, now my hero. Some people hero to make police. Some people hero to sell their market. Some people hero to up and down. Some people hero to go to school. That hero, that hero, that hero.
All right.
Hey, God, everybody got a hero here.
Area right there tonight, and that's their area right there tonight. Whatever you're doing, folks, and however you're doing it, I'd like to say welcome. This is the program, The Talking Point. We will quickly roll over to bring you a few information from our correspondent across the county. At least we can do that 1 minute each or 1 minute 30 seconds each. And then definitely we'll bring you the program tonight. As you all know, Jackson You said Jackson who?
Isaac Jackson.
Isaac Jackson is going to be our guest for tonight. Sorry for the quality of the video being set up, but definitely I'm going to work on it later on. But let me now go over to our Maryland correspondent there in Maryland County, Mark Nipan, who will be telling us tonight what's happening there in Maryland County. Mike, how are you? Mark, your line is bad and you're coming in broken. Let me see what I can get you back again on the line. I don't know what's going on with you there, but let me see what I can get you back again on the line. If you're just joining, I'd like to say welcome. And let's see what we can get Mike from back on the line to tell us what's happening there in Maryland County. Mark, quickly, good evening, and how are you?
I'm doing great. Let me say thanks to the many listeners who always following this platform at this appropriate time. Let me say good day to the peace-loving people of Mama Liberia. And good day to you as well.
Thank you very much. Partner in Health Liberia, PRH, hold a day-long media relation brand and PSEH awareness training for journalists and media stakeholders in Harper, Maryland County. Tell us more on this story.
Well, thank you so much for conducting Maryland County at this appropriate time. The information is factual and it's truth. Partners in Health is a non-profit government organization that operates in Liberia. It came about in 2014, where Liberia was suffering from the deadly coronavirus disease, and it came in our aid to help buttress the effort of government in supporting various health sectors across Mama Liberia. It was today when we received a call from the communication analyst from Partners in Health concerning this one-day training that has to do with ethics in journalism in terms of reporting on health issues. The communication director for Partners in Health have a training that journalists were able to be part of. 23 journalists across Maryland County that was selected to be part, and I was very opportune to be part of that. The intensive underscores the Partners in Health Liberia commitment to upholding professional standards and safeguarding the well-being of both reporters and the community they serve. Further to us in the training that the community and the radio stations or the reporters need to understand how things go when it comes to health reportage, because people sometimes just take their phone at any time, they write on it and they post on social media, and they also had a reflection on journalistic issues, because social media also give information to people around the world. So they were also encouraging us to see how best we can come back to the community to explain to them in detail when and how to take their cell phone to report maybe even accident issues or sudden death, because people can just take any photo anytime. Even those that work in various health facilities, they themselves also had a link within that, because some posting can come from those nurses and physicians who are currently working at any of these nearby clinics.
Meaning the training today for journalists was to be very much effective on your job as a journalist.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Mark Nipa, for letting us know what's happening there in Maryland County. We'll now go over to Margibi County, where we'll take on Benson Martis Moko. And Benson will be telling us what's happening in Margibi County as the Teacher Association and other auxiliary group in Margibi County are urging President Joseph Numa Boakai to reconsider his appointment of Mr. James Ama Massaquoi as Deputy Minister for Administration at the Ministry of Education. Says he is a high co-citizen. The moment we get him over, we'll definitely bring you the information there from Margibi County. While we are waiting, we will also be looking up to see what exactly Ramsey Clark will be speaking on tonight from Bond County, Banga City. But let's now go over to Benson Matis Moko. Benson, good evening, and how are you?
Well, Sheku, good evening, and good evening to the people of Liberia, and thanks for joining my GB this evening.
Thank you very much. You earlier on posted that Teachers Association and other auxiliary group in Mangibi County are urging President Joseph Nyuma Boakai to reconsider his appointment of Mr. James Ama Massaquoi as Deputy Minister for Administration at the Ministry of Education. Say he is a high court citizen. Tell us more on this story, Benson.
Well, Sheku, thank you very much. Today, schools of auxiliaries and the Teacher Association of Mangibi County had a press conference today, calling other media institutions to that press conference. And we went there at the party headquarters here in Mangibi County. They expressed so much disenchantment based on the issue that President Boakai made. According to them, President Boakai made the wrongful appointment by appointing Mr. James Aman Massaquoi, who once served in the President George Weah government, who did not do well for the people of Mangibi County. And during his time when he served, there were too many lapses in the education system within the country. Most especially where he served as fiscal affairs human resource officer at the time for the Ministry of Education, but did not do well. According to the petition today that they presented to the party Secretary General Mangibi chapter, there are a lot of things said. Some of what they said today, calling it, they said Mr. Aman being one of those who fought the United Party better here in Mangibi County. So it's so surprising to see Mr. Massaquoi surfacing on the nomination of others who to serve in government, President Joseph Nyuma Boakai government. So it's something that is very shocking to them, and they are calling on President Joseph Nyuma Boakai to see into their plot. They said they are giving ultimatum of 72 hours. If President Joseph Boakai cannot see reason to look into the issue, they will take other necessary action that will not be comfort for the United Party in Mangibi County.
Thank you very much, Benson Martin Moko, for giving us the information tonight.
Thank you, Sheku. It was nice having you this evening.
Benson Moko from Mangibi County. Ramsey Clark is our correspondent there in Bangabong County. Earlier on, Ramsey Clark reported that the regional coordinator of Justice and Peace Commission, JPC, for Bong, Nimba, and Lofa County, Mr. George Philip Mulva, has preferred the need for the Bong County to be represented at the Supreme Court of Liberia. As soon as we get him tonight, we'll definitely bring him here on the platform. Ramsey Clark is our correspondent now. He's there in Bong County. Ramsey, how are you?
I'm okay. Bong County is fine at the moment.
The regional coordinator of the Justice and Peace Commission, JPC, for Bong County, Nimba and Lofa, Mr. George Philip Mulva, has preferred the need for Bong County to be represented at the Supreme Court of Liberia. Tell us more on the story.
Mr. George Philip Mulva is an advocate. He is the regional coordinator for JPC in Bong, Nimba, and Lofa counties. And then he's preferring the need that a representative of Bong County can be at the Supreme Court, where Bong County will be represented there. Because according to him, over the past time, all of people from different counties have been at the Supreme Court, but there have been no representative from Bong at the Supreme Court. So he wants a representative from Bong at the Supreme Court in order to foster equity, so that there will be equity into the justice system. That's why we recommend it at the moment.
Okay. And so,
also, there is another development from the county. A resident of the Baptist Clinic community in Banga is appealing for assistance to seek advanced medication. he began physically challenged in 2010 when he had gone to cut palm but mistakenly fell from the tree. So his 2 legs got broken in the process. So since then, he was taken to a herbalist, to help in the process. So after all of that, the different treatment given, yet is not still okay. There is still problem with his leg. He cannot move on his own except with the help of a cane, a walking stick. That's the only way he moves. So now he's appealing to the county authority. He's appealing to good individuals and people who will listen to this to come to his aid. So help him. If only they will be able to provide him some assistance that will take him out of the country, maybe to other countries around where he will seek advanced medication. Because he said at the time, he was in high school. His only source of funding was to go and cut palm. So there where he went on that day to go and cut palm in 2010, and then he fell from the tree, unfortunately. And
please send us story in the chat room to Gibson Jeru.
It is in the chat room. It's
Okay,
already,
and I'm sure they will be posted. Thank you very much. Tonight, Ramsey Clark would like to appreciate you tonight. Let's now go to Grand Cape May County, where we have Mark Rogers. Mark Rogers is our correspondent there, and he's going to be telling us tonight what's going on there as the Liberia Marketing Association annual convention is taking place in Grand Cape May County, with a special appeal to the national government to move the marketers from the streets back to the constructed market building in Monrovia and its environs. Mark Rogers is our correspondent. He's now speaking directly from Sinje, Grand Cape May County. Mark, how are you tonight?
Well, I'm doing fine. How are you doing too?
How is Grand Cape May County? And please tell us what's happening when it comes to the Liberia Marketing Association annual convention taking place in the county.
Yes, indeed. The marketers from the various counties started arriving yesterday, and the kickoff of the Marketing Association annual anniversary started today, and this marked the 48th annual anniversary of the Marketing Association since its establishment in 1976. So, doing our annual message to the marketers in Liberia, because we're talking about across Liberia, we're talking about the 14 county area to Cape May, making it 15. We have representatives from the various counties. They are all here. She pointed out some of the achievements for last year, and also talk about some of the challenges that they are still faced with as marketers. Key among it is the issue of getting the marketeers from the main streets in Monrovia in the presence of market buildings, but they are leaving the market building. They are in the street selling, and that she said they do not have that power to move the marketeers from the street, and one Joseph Human Walker-led government to help them in the process to get them off the street. And the next thing she spoke about is the issue of garbage collection. He said the marketeers do not waste much garbage. People in the community sometimes waste the garbage because what is collected at their various market area, they have people who can clean those places. But the people in the community also bring their own dirt and add it up to the street. I think that all the marketing association are the one responsible for all of these things. She said that last year, at least the marketing association were able to buy one Toyota Hello pickup just to be helping in the process to remove garbages from the main street. And she also spoke about they being able to pay for a land spot for the construction of a market building in Suakoko, Bon County, so that they acquire land there for the construction of market building, and they were able to build at least 28 shops
in the Douala market to accommodate people who structures market structure were broken down during the construction of the Douala market from the marketing association. She spoke about all of these things and their plans. They thinking about even the Cape Town where they are. They pledged the amount of 200,000 to start negotiating for the land in Danielstown to have the Danielstown market relocated to that new spot. Because every Thursday when you're traveling to Danielstown, when you're traveling to Bowaza, Danielstown market is Germany packed. So she spoke about all of these issues and talk about increasing of salary also for the market. Those are held in the administrative position at Montserrat County, and from there they will be moving into the counties. She talked about providing loan. At least the marketeers in Montserrat, they are benefiting from loan scheme, and this year she's trying to decentralize it so that marketers in the country too will also start benefiting from loan scheme.
Thank you.
Those are all issues.
Thank you very much, Mark Rogers, for talking to us tonight from Cape Mount.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Mark Rogers is our Grand Cape Mount correspondent. He's been reporting, telling us about what's been happening there today. Quickly, we'll go to Agnes Tarr. She's reporting that a delegation from the International Monitoring Fund recently paid a visit to the office of President Pro Tempore Nyomli Kanga-Lauren in the quest to strengthen bilateral relationship between Liberia and the IMF. The delegation was headed by Mr. Martford Michila, Deputy Director of African Department, Mr. Ade Abeti, Resident Representative of Liberia, and Mr. Dengin Kane, Deputy Division Chief, among others. During the meeting, Mr. Martford Michila, representing the IMF, extended facilitation to Pro Tempore Kanga-Lauren for her instrumental roles in a recently concluded elections and the subsequent transition of power to a newly elected government. He then underscored the IMF commitment to collaborating with the government of Liberia in pursuit of its objectives. The IMF delegation at the same time emphasized the imperative for the Liberian government to address the challenges of timely reporting, citing deficiencies in standard and adherence to the international deadlines. In separate speech, they stressed the importance of employing a proficient teams of experts to ensure accurate and comprehensive reporting, thereby aligning Liberia with IMF reporting standards. According to them, by doing so, it will bolster the country's revenue streams, including waivers of taxes and fees for mining companies and legislative reforms regarding the park. We hold it right there. And we move on to bring you another one here tonight. But we can cross over to Gibson Jeru quickly. It's 10 o'clock already in Monrovia, and it's 4 o'clock to where he is in the United States of America. Gibson, are you taking over from me now? All right. While we stay with him, Gibson Jeru, to take over from me, we'd like to go over to we'll now go over to Bomi County and see whether we can take Mohammed Sharif, who will be telling us exactly what's happening there in Bomi County. And as soon as we get Mohammed Sharif, we'll let you to know exactly what's taking place in Bomi. Arthur S. Solo Senior say, good evening, Sheku. I can get him tonight. Henry Boluma is there in Bapolu County. Is it possible to get Henry Boluma on the line tonight to tell us what's happening in Bapolu City? We are yet to get him, so as soon as we get him, we'll definitely bring him over to you to give us information from that part of the country. If you're just joining us, this is the program. This is the program, The Talking Point, on the Blaze Communication Network Incorporated, Blaze FM. We broadcast from Monrovia studio and the United States studio with Gibson Jeru and Sheku Koroma. Let's hold it right there and get back to Gibson Jeru.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our broadcast. This is Blaze the talking points, and Sheku have been doing very well taking care of the correspondent reports. And our correspondent, we want to say thank you, and we appreciate every job you do. We appreciate every job you do. So we are hoping that you'll continue your job. This evening, we will be joined by our panelist, Mr. Isaac Jackson Jr. will come here and to join us to discuss the issues. We'll have Arthur Solo. He's driving right now, and he will be joining us after he arrives home. We'll also have St. Salif, Reverend Salif, will join us in this discussion. Today, we are going to be looking closely at the violation by Joseph Boakai, appointing people to position he has no business appointing people. We will look at these positions. It gross violations of the PPC, these laws, the 10 new positions that were created. 10 new positions that were created. We will look closely at the violations that have been made. The people that have been were appointed to this position. We give you 1 or 2 or 3 examples of people who were appointed to positions that they had no business being appointed. Joseph Boakai said he was going to uphold the laws of Liberia. He was going to be a different president. He was going to rescue the country from all the misrules and political malice and all of these things. Were going to rescue all of us. And he has come. But he is violating the laws and appointing people to positions. He has no business appointing people. This is something that we will be looking at very, very closely tonight. And I will have my man Isaac Jackson be here. I will have my man Sally will be here. And Shiki will also be here tonight. And look, this is something that you people, let me give a perspective here before my panelists come on here. Let me give a perspective before they come on here. You have a government that says, and we have Isaac getting ready in the background. We have a government that came to power, and the government said it's going to be different. It's not going to be business as usual. It's going to respect the laws of Liberia. It's going to govern in a more decent way. But the government is violating, Joseph Boakai is violating the very laws that he has upheld, he has sworn to uphold. He has sworn to uphold the laws of Liberia. But he is violating the laws. 10 new positions that are not supposed to be tampered with. He is appointing people to the 10 new position. So let me bring my man Isaac Jackson here. He's a former representative to the the Maritime Affairs. Isaac, how you doing there?
Oh, thank you, Brother Jeru. It's a pleasure having me. You know, let me say to our dear colleague, the co-moderator,
Sheku, right?
Sheku, how are you, Brother Sheku?
We'll put you in Sialetu very soon.
I'm okay.
I'm happy to be on the show for the first time.
He can put it neither. He can put the.
Yeah, I put my glasses on to figure the knee, but I can't see the knee. I said, but let me hide it for the minute. And I let us say good evening, good afternoon, absolutely to those who are following your broadcast, friends of Liberia and Liberians that are following. I'm very humbled to be here. So thank you very kindly for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program tonight.
Yeah, so you've been observing things a little bit these few days. So let me just ask you, what have you been observing so far? We got some issue to discuss today, Isaac. We got the president of the Republic of Liberia had decided to violate laws like he's supposed to protect. We're going to bring those names to you, people that were appointed in training position when they are not supposed to be appointed. We also have an issue to discuss. The government of Liberia was serving as prosecutor, and they have a prosecutress, Judy Andy, who filed a lawsuit for damages, but the government of Liberia has dismissed those cases, that case. We're going to come there. But let me see, what have you been looking at since Joseph Boakai? This is, I think, the 28th or 29th day in office. Is everything going well? Are you observing any everything going well?
No, Jeru. It is sad that Liberia is at its lowest nada. We are at our lowest. Former Vice President, now President Bouaka, is proceeding dangerously. I was on another show where somebody called in and said that the thing that is important for Liberians, like what Martin Luther King said, to wage a vigorous protest. Protest is provided for in the Liberian Constitution. They say when a group of citizens are aggrieved or they have grievances to express, they say they must assemble peacefully or peaceably to petition their government to address those grievances. So we have grievances. Bouaka, first thing, it is important to remind our people, the Bouaka people don't want to talk about this, but it is important to remind our people that the entire Joseph Bouaka campaign was built or erected upon lies. And anything that is built upon lies will collapse, it will crumble. Bouaka put our people and our foreign partners under the lying pretext that he was in brilliant health. Today, nobody who has any scintilla of respect for truth, nobody who has any boon or earnesty in them, will go on the Bible and swear that Bouaka is in brilliant health. Bouaka was not able to complete his inaugural address because of the pre-existing medical condition that he's confronting with. The other thing they did, they have to trim down his speech sooner so that he will be able to give it, that he doesn't get embarrassed for the second time. And so, Jeru, the old man is not at his full potential. Like some of you predicted, all of us predicted, that when somebody has these underlying or pre-existing medical condition in that advanced age range, they will not be effective. Bouaka is not being effective. He's making too many mistakes.
Before we go into our topic,
he's making too many mistakes. So where we are now, brother, this man said he was going to rescue Liberia. And you all seen the sign. There's no sign here to show that Bouaka is even rescuing the country. Today, Bouaka is wheeling back into government. New orchestrators of violence, people who orchestrated violence in the country, who today should be answering for violence they orchestrated during the just ended election in Lofa. Bouaka just rewarded the key architect of that violence, a ministerial post, meaning internal affairs minister designate. He was accused of orchestrating the violence in Lofa. Bouaka is also rewarding known abuser of human rights. The Deputy Inspector General, Nels Francis Freeman, this fellow was accused of abusing people's rights. Bouaka have rewarded him with a high position in the police. People who are deemed to be corrupt, dismissed on the basis of corruption, even in the selling government. There's a guy called Japa. He was at Water and Sewer, damaged the place. Ellen dismissed him for incompetence. Bouaka appointed him to come to this government as though they are not qualified, competent Liberians to say. My own friend and brother, DJ Massacriade from the Liberia, just about the same time. Daniel Johnson on the American radar for stealing for American institution. Bouaka also wheeled him back into government. So what is he doing? How are you going to rescue the country when you recycle these people in government? What are you doing? These are not people that are operating beyond suspicion of any kind. They come with baggage. Correct? So I'm saying to Liberian people, this old man is our old man. We respect him, but he ain't able. If I want to be euphemistic, I would say to you that his senior moment It's not catching. When when you say senior movement,
the senior movement has arrived.
yes, there's a that senior movement is where that senior. Let me learn my senior on the one. I will just learn the senior coming. That senior movement is where the cognitive frailty can come in, where the man start forgetting things. He start doing things. If your pastor, he start advising, Papa, you will not be able to drive now. We'll find a driver for you. That's the senior movement now he in.
In fact, the police will say, "Oh man, look like you.
Yeah,
need a driver.
You need driver now." So so that's where he is. That's where he is. So he's not effective at the work. So Liberia is being handcuffed and dragged to hell, and we need to stand up.
Liberia is being handcuffed and dragged to hell. We hold Isaac Jackson. Let's welcome our panelist, another panelist of ours. He's been with us here. Reverend S.T. Salif, another brilliant discussant. And I know you know Isaac Jackson. Will be joined shortly by Arthur Solo shortly. But look, before we go to our topic, and our topic today has to do with the appointment of people in tenure positions that are not supposed to be. The Governance Commission, the LTA, the National Health Commission. We go there and name the people that are there. We also have something that we're going to be discussing today, the government of Liberia. Even while Judy Annie still has interest in her own case that she filed against Prophet Key, the government had dismissed that case without her approval, without her acquiescence. We'll go into that. But I say you raised a very good issue about health. Why health is important in political governance? Why is it important?
It is crucially important because like it would say, if you're not in excellent health, you will not be at your full potential, your peak, right? You will not perform at your peak. So because of the pre-existing medical condition, Bwaka is not rigorously scrutinizing even those he's appointing to government position. They will appoint today and pull back those names. He's not in charge. He's not being able to exhaustively read people that are brought to him because his health is not excellent. Even in your own private place, when people come down with fever or whatever, you tell them to go home and rest, right? Yeah. Because when people are not well, they can't do excellent job. They can't tax themselves to go extra mile. And where Liberia needs a leader who is in excellent health, who has the stamina. This is something that Bwaka doesn't have. The Americans stand up for 45 minutes, correct? So the stamina is not there to do the heavy lifting for the country. And this is why we see what we are seeing, and you say you will come to that aspect of the conversation, but right now the government is based on clientelism, right? Clientelism is political corruption 101. People feel entitled. People who wore Bwaka's t-shirt, a polyester t-shirt with a face on it, they are being rewarded with government job. They feel entitled. So they are the one now putting pressure on him and announcing where they want to go. Why even making a decision? Some of the junior comrades who were marching behind him said, "Oh, I want to go to LTA." Even though he is aware that LTA is a professional technical body that's supposed to regulate the frequency in our country, something that is a very critical commodity everywhere around the world. You go there and send somebody there who is a deeply politicized Bwaka stooge. And what signal are you sending to the rest of the world, or even to Liberians who want to interact with the LTA? You come to the tenure thing. Yeah, you want to discuss the tenure. We can discuss the tenure thing. I know the tenure thing is just wrong at every level. Because at this stage, Bwaka should not be doing all millions of dollars to tenure holders to shortchange the tenure because he wants to bring on board unity partisan. He should not be doing it. Okay. Even if he said he should not be doing it, because at this critical stage, Jason, we'll get to the detail of it, but at this critical stage, the people who stood in the queue, Gibson, the poor Liberian people who stood in the queue, whose salary was harmonized, they need to hear from this government What is he doing about that? Are we going to stay with a harmonized salary, or is he going to do something else? He's not going. He's not. So instead of even trying to find resources for those poor people, Bouakai is looking for a way to create his own bishop. He want to give people 10 new jobs, pay them plenty of money. Even the University of Liberia, children want to go back to school. Instead of finding the money you want to buy all the 10 holders from, because the 10 holders you have to negotiate with them and buy them all. That money you want to use to buy 10 holders to bring and replace them with loyal partisans. You could use that money to send to the university for poor market women children to go to school. Why are you not doing that? Why is it not your priority? Why do you want to create big shop for Liberian people? Only because they wore your t-shirt and the mask behind you, and you feel endeared to them, you feel that you're supposed to reward them. Now, government doesn't run like this. When you engage in political clientelism, then it's wrong. You can't reward people only because they wore your t-shirt. It's just wrong.
Let's welcome Arthur Solo. He is a constitutionalist and he is a pro-government. He said he support any government on earth. Well, I don't know whether he supported Donald Trump. We'll find out. But here, let me go to Brother Salif. Brother Salif, I want to start with you on this. The Liberia has certain positions that cannot be tampered with in certain amount of time. One of those positions is the Liberia Telecommunication Authority. At the Telecommunication Authority, we have the chairperson, the Patrick Hunter was just brought in. Those who are the LTA supposed to be there for, I think, 6 to 10 years, and they cannot be removed until those tenure are done. But Patrick Hunter was just appointed to that position. Also, at the Governance Commission, Mr. Yasio, am I pronouncing his name well? Yeah, his name is Garrison Yelu Jr. He is the chairman of the Good Governance Commission, but he has just been replaced with Mr. Alari Toba as chairman. That too is a tenure position. And we go to the National Public Health Institute of Liberia. We have the Bouakai has appointed Rubel Lati Winter as director of that institution. That too is a tenure position, and no one's supposed to be appointed when the 10 new officers are still there. So the president was supposed to protect the law. Is that not what all this rescue thing was about? To protect the law? And he said there will be no business as usual.
Yeah.
Do we still believe that there's no business as usual, that you can just go and change anybody just because you say you have the authority to do so? Let's talk. What's your take on that?
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you, Anthony Jackson, for your brilliant take on national issues. When it comes to tenure position, I think the intention behind that was good, but everything gets abused, along the line. I follow one of the programs yesterday, and they talk about this tenure position. And I try to compare that with the U.S. government. There are positions in the U.S. government that are also tenure positions. And,
like the Fed, the director of the Fed.
Yeah, the Feds.
Federal Reserve.
I'm the public radio. Call you back.
Yep, FBI and other places.
Let me tell you that.
But even at that, the president of the United States still has that power to remove those tenure positions. You are either there until you are incapacitated, or you die, or your tenure is over, or the president has the power to remove you. But it's not just about the tenure position. What's the rationale behind the tenure position? It's simple, because I'm going to use the normal election cycle all around the world. Every 4 years there's elections. In our own country, we say every 6 years. Every 4 years there's elections. So one administration goes and another administration comes. And for the purpose of continuum, you want to keep those tenure positions because of those agencies, so that what they are doing, the vision driving those agencies can be intact, so that there can be stability. That's the purpose for the tenure position. When it comes to us, we abuse everything, because every 4 years, I'm using the normal thing, and not basing that just on Liberia. Every 6 years, there's elections, there's new administration that's coming in. One person who wins the election as the president, he comes with his own vision, he drives the country in another direction. Mr. A wins the next elections, he also bringing his own vision and drives the country in another direction. So we have all these projects that are just stalled. We got so many unfinished projects. One president comes. Let's even use our typical Liberian thing from Samuel Doe. Samuel Doe comes, he has the idea to build Manicoma Highway, to do all these things, make sure every ministry got their own buildings and all these things. Okay, his time comes, he gets killed, he's removed from one group to another. Everybody comes, they got their own ideas. So what happens is the country is not growing because there's no sustainability in our plans. So
but
this
the problem that is cropping is, and Isaac made mention of it, is not about putting just any qualified people that you see. It's about putting people who are your strong, staunch supporters. Just because they support you, because election have consequences. We all know that.
Sure.
You remove the people who did nothing. There's no allegations of wrongdoing. There's no corruption. There's nothing you hold against them that you can remove them in a proper way. But you are removing them because you want to put your partisans.
That is the abuse that I'm talking about. So the intention behind the tenure position is to prevent all those instability. One director comes, it goes another direction, takes the country, the agency in another direction. So if you have a tenure, or say 10 years, you have a 10 years of stability and sustainability in that plan. That is the intention. So what is the abuse? The abuse is, now I met these other people, they are tenure, maybe they are in their 6 years, or based on when they were appointed, they are in their 4th year or in their 5th year, but they are not partisan to me. So I want to get them out. That is the abuse. We cannot, like I said the other day, Bouaka ran as a UP standard bearer. When he won the elections, he's no longer a UP standard bearer, he's the president of Liberia. He cannot run the country based on the intention of UP. He got to run the country based on national identity. Where is the country going? So if we have qualified people that you inherited from another administration, the first thing we want to do, are these people doing their job? Are they doing the right thing? Are they moving the country forward? If they are doing their jobs and they are being effective, why do you want to remove them? That is the abuse. So you're removing them because you want to fix your own partisan stooges in that place. And that is the reason Liberia is not growing. We're not growing. We're not having sustainable growth and development because everything is driven on partisan methodology. And we can't continue to do that. There are so many qualified people, like the counselor is saying. Look for people. And when we talk about qualification, it's not just because A has a degree from this place. A has degree from this place. The man has degree in maybe in technical skills, okay? But then you take him from there and make him information minister. He's not qualified for the job, even though he has the degree. Okay, he has a
because that square pegs in a round hole.
In the round hole. Even though the person has a PhD in accounting, you can't take a PhD in accounting and take him to Public West. What is he going to do? He's not a civil engineer. He doesn't have any idea. Just because somebody has a degree don't mean they can work everywhere. You cannot
and that's the concept in Liberia. They think that all ministerial position, once you're educated,
you should just go anywhere. You can't take a PhD in psychology.
Back to Jackson, but let me bring Arthur Solo in a little bit. Arthur, you are a constitutionalist. That means you believe that the laws should be the laws. But it looks like the president of Liberia, and you also are pro-government. the president of Liberia is no longer looking at the laws. He is now violating the laws knowingly, just because he has the power to do so. And like Asi said, negotiate with these people. Look, how many more years left? 5 more years left. Okay, 3 more years left. Okay, we'll calculate your salary and give it to you. I said, that's it, right?
Yeah.
They calculate your salary. They calculate your salary for the 5 years and give it to you and say you can go, just to make sure that they can replace you. What do you say about?
Thank you. Thank you very much, and I want to say thank you to St. Salif, my brother Sekou, and Attorney Jackson. Mr. Jackson, it's good to see you again, bro. And
Yeah, pleasure.
the way you vindicated yourself with that spoon thing, that's what gave me the most respect for you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jero, the idea here is the law. Yes, I'm a constitutionalist, but there had to be a victim here, you know. And the attorney standing there, no, you cannot just say, yeah, one thing in the morale, he's breaking some law, but who holding him accountable? There's 3 branches of government in the country, and even the citizen, anyone can sue the administration. What Bwaka is doing, he's having trust issue.
As a matter of fact, just because you said this, let me just read this. Just because you said this, and there's a story in the front page that appeared today. Those who were dismissed officials at LRA and other are planning to a lawsuit against the UP-led government. As we speak, they are planning to sue the government for removing them. So it looks at that negotiation aspect where they say, we'll give you your 2 years, remaining 2 years, and you go. It looks like it might not even work. It looks like they're going to be lost.
Mr. General, if you even do that, it's still wrong by the law. Not because that you can get the person. It's not the money. The reason why the tenure is there is not because of the money. The tenure is created for the person capacity to move the needle. That's why they are there. So if you're removing that person based on the salary is not the issue. The man wants salary, in America, they put at work for government, they don't make money. They put at work for private sector, make money. So if the Postal Service Inspector General, if he put there for 5 years, there's a reason why they put him there for 5 years. Because he can do the job effectively to move logistic to the point that it need to be. But if you look at him and think, oh, this man, he getting $5,000 every month, and he got out of 5 years, he got 4.5. Let's just pay him the rest. You are breaking the law. But the reason why I'm looking at it, somehow you said they are planning. That's good. But even them are not the only reason why the CDC government doing. The CDC government should be the one filing a lawsuit against the sitting government. Say, hey, the man who claimed to be the rescuer, he already broke the law. In America here, when Donald Trump created Executive Order Title 42, he got sued 3 times by universities and colleges because it was so aggressive. They had to change the language in it. How the 42 title got to work. But there's another guy that they're dismissing. They're dismissing them because Bwaka don't trust anybody, not even his own son. But that's not the problem. This is not your house. This is the people's mansion. So if you think there and you're afraid,
I say the guy raised a very tricky point here.
Yeah.
Bwaka does not trust anybody. So those he met there, they must be kicked out, and he bring a loyalist. So Isaac, let's put this in perspective. What are the contending issues here? I mean, thank God you are a lawyer, looking at the legal aspect, looking at the political aspect, looking at the governance aspect. What are the legal issues? What are they? Let's put it in perspective here. What are we dealing with here?
We are dealing with the president that is just not a respecter of the law he himself crafted. People forget that most of the trainees that were granted to these institutions, because the trainee basically is an administrative structure of the governance of our country, right? That says the public policy say LTA you'll be trained. In fact, for the maritime where I worked, The tenure was intended to prevent the maritime from serving as a revolving door, because the maritime interacts with international partners. So you don't want every time a president comes, they move the other president, bring new face. So it will reduce the confidence level. The people dealing with you, maybe at the IMO or other places, say, but we can't make too much, negotiation or sound too much with these people, because they will soon change. So as a way of preventing that and to restore confidence in the program, the training was introduced at the maritime, right? Now, and Bouacar administration, the Salif administration, where Bouacar was the vice president, brought about all the tenures. Now, how come now? It's ironical, right? That the same Bouacar who was there as vice president, who sat over there, presided, and tenure laws were passed, is not coming and doing violence to the law. It's ironic, right?
Let me bring something to your attention.
So
hold on. I'll come to you, Isaac. Now, Isaac, I'll come to you, Arthur. Go ahead, Isaac.
So it's ironic, and like my man, I thought really said, it may not be, even if they're not even negotiating on the basis of money, then it's more than ridiculous. Because the first thing that we heard in the public was that some of these people who had 2 more years remaining, they were negotiating with them. And I said, at every level, this is bad. Because even if you were to negotiate with them and give them bulk money to pay them out, you are already depriving certain sector of the economy or the country of our resources. Poor people voted for you. They're not taking pay, but because you want to create big shot in the government, because you want to give your lawyer a big job, because technically jobs are big job, you're bribing people to move how does they help the country? The University of Liberia is closed, no money. How does it help? So they're violating the law, they undermining the administrative structure of the governance system in Liberia, and they're just doing things their own way, and it's just dangerous and bad. It is as bad can be. There's nowhere Bouacar can justify this action. He was there as vice president when the tenure took effect. He was presiding when the tenure was passed at the legislature.
But make him to rescue. I said make him to rescue, and that's the part of the mission that I'm concerned with. If you come to rescue me, in fact, we criticize George Weah for everything. George Weah he doesn't obey the law. He was violating the law. He was not doing the right thing. And you came to replace all of that with good governance, respect for the law. And like you said, people were put in position, they are removed. People who are tainted, like Nyamali, and because he supports you and he was involved in violent activities in Lofa County, you gave the man a job because he is your supporter.
Yeah.
You're talking about, look at Daniel Johnson. I know Daniel Johnson very well. I follow his story.
So
in the face of the U.S., it's like you're spitting in the face of the U.S. government.
What are you doing?
Looking at the perspective in the next 1 month, 3 months from now, what are you saying?
I'm told that the family also predicted a vigorous protest to be on the horizon. And since he being around long, I would say to you, brother, the way the Liberian people will approach this thing is for us to stand up and tell Bouacar, say you are unable to do the work. You are incapable of doing the work effectively. I don't want to say unfit. I say, as a just not being euphemistic, the man go there again, But the man is incapable of to running this country effectively. And some of us talk about this.
How is he incapable? I want you to go down. How is he incapable? Let me play the devil's advocate.
Brother, you are incapable when you don't demonstrate sound leadership judgment. Bouacar is not demonstrating sound leadership judgment, and as such, he is unfit to run the country because this is not sound leadership judgment. Sound leadership judgment does not violate the law that you took an oath to protect. Sound leadership judgment does not undermine the structure of the governance of the country. You don't do this. And that's what the Omen is doing in broad daylight. Everything that Bouacar is doing fly in the face of the law. And my friend was talking about people should go to the court. When Bouacar took over, he tried to even weaponize the court against perceived political opponents. Look at the ridiculous question they told the Supreme Court to answer. And the Supreme Court were all even thinking, jump into it. They asked the Supreme Court a frivolous question, whether or not the Supreme Court, whether or not a sitting president, whether or not he's linked up, he could appoint a justice on the Supreme Court bench. When this question arose in America, Barack Obama, one of the respected world leaders, when the opportunity came for him to appoint somebody on the U.S. Supreme Court bench, even though he was leaned door, he appointed Garland. Nobody took him to court. All they did in the U.S. Senate, what they did in the Senate was to hold that nomination until the matter was moved. In Liberia, Bouakai thought to drag a political matter that was not justiciable to the Supreme Court. You try to prematurely drag the Supreme Court into answering political questions. Soon and very soon, you make the Supreme Court a legitimate target for political action. And when I say legitimate target for political action, people will soon and very soon not believe in the Supreme Court being impartial. They will go there and burn tires. And they say riot is a language of the unheard. So when people say, oh, you're not listening to us, we're going burn tire in the Supreme Court. Yeah. So when somebody says, let them carry them to court, which court are they carrying them to? Right now, it's difficult to draw a line of distinction between the executive and the judiciary. It's difficult to do. Fonati Kofa, duly elected twice by his peers. In fact, Fonati first job in the Liberian government was given to him by Bouakai and Madanseli as Minister of State for Presidential Affairs with all portfolio. Bouakai had the unbridled audacity to go to the same court and ask whether or not Fonati Kofa was citizen, even though he would appoint a half Lebanese man to preside over our comrades. Bouakai, what are you doing? What are you doing? A half Lebanese man today is the one. No, but that's true. Friend, I'm telling you true. Right, it's a double standard. Double standard. You want, you say, oh, you ask the question. Fonati Kofa, a natural born Liberian citizen, born in Grand Kingdom, America, went to school, elected twice by his peer, and even one your candidate who wanted to be speaker. You go to court and asking him whether or not he's citizen. You question his citizenship, but you have the guts to bring a half Lebanese boy to be Minister of Commerce, even though you know that the commerce of Liberia is dominated by Lebanese. And in a patriarchal society, the boy is with his power. He not with money, he doesn't care money, he care money. So I say, oh, he declares citizenship. I say, yeah, I agree. But most of the Lebanese guys are his friends, they are his brothers. You think he will be tough on them? No. So, what are you doing with the country? What are you doing with the country? You're dragging our country to hell? That's why I think Liberian people should stand up. So you're talking about the court. I'm not casting expression on the court, but the court is not convincing us that it is independent and impartial to handle these matters. See what they did in recent times. You say you will counter that issue later on. See what they did in recent times. A lady crying for justice. And this morning I was on one of the local radio stations and I asked, where is the first lady in this matter? A fellow female crying for justice, violated, insulted, humiliated, denigrated. Go to our justice system. The city solicitor and the county attorney recognize her complaint and properly charge the man for criminal coercion. While the matter is pending, upon Bouakai's instruction, a legal advisor go to the city solicitor and say, you know the prosecutor this case. Where in the world can this happen? The private prosecutress is still standing and say, but I got ample evidence to convict this man. Ample evidence. You haven't even spoken with me. Can you imagine the hubris? Can you imagine the pomposity that goes into the arrogance that they did? The woman is crying all around for justice. The boy insulted me. Right now, I'm so embarrassed. I'm ashamed. I can't even walk in the street after all the nasty thing the boy said about me. In simple English, is that no intellectual argument? We say, oh, the other woman incompetent, the other one incompetent. That man is insulting the woman. Oh, no. And she's saying, the woman said, I'm embarrassed to walk in the street. Let the justice ministry help me. The justice ministry, oh, yeah. Everything you explain to us is under criminal coercion. Because right now in Liberia, because of Table Mountain Declaration, we don't do criminal malevolence, no criminal defamation, right? So they go for criminal coercion because you're a private citizen. And while the woman is pursuing her case, the twisted legal advisor, this flunky, goes there and do violence to the rule of law. So when you say let go to court, yeah, it's one thing to say let go to court, but do we have confidence in the court? In the court positioning itself, or have confidence and respect for it? It's a problem. And I have said to the court repeatedly, if the court doesn't convince us that we should trust it, then we go there. People will go there and burn tire. I'm not asking anybody to go there and burn tire, but if the people are not convinced that the court here is impartial, it's not supposed to be doing the work for the border. You're not supposed to be doing Bouakai's bidding. You can't be doing Bouaca's bidding. If you do that, then you undermine justice. So where we are,
And you want to mind your own integrity too.
absolutely. So,
Okay,
Jerry
guys,
and colleagues,
we're going to keep.
Liberia is at a difficult place.
We're going to keep
Mr.
Isaac
Joe,
as our guest.
one thing that
I'll come in, Ato. We're going to keep Isaac as our guest, but if you have a question, you can ask. If you have a comment based on what he said, you'll be making the comments. But let's get our commentators involved. This one is coming from Max K Mixer. He said, "You guys will be just fine. Even you, Isaac, you have a butt on your bike. Imagine how many people that will stand against you being appointed. This is why many of you will continue to live in exile, doing lower jobs than your law qualification." I'm not sure if this is true, but let me go down here to I'm anointed say how much lawyers earned in Liberia, and it's coming from anointed say Anthony John Jackson needs more time to articulate the issues. He got the governmental experience. Absolutely. That's why he's here as our guest today. He said too much misstep from JMB leadership. Too early for such mistakes. Salia Suni. Thank you, Boja. Who is Boja again? My man,
that's my pet name. That's my pet name.
And I just say our country already don't have money. Then the government wants to pay 2 persons for a particular job. She continues here with this statement. I love this statement. He said the country's economy is already struggling. Then President Bouaca wants to pay 2 persons for a particular job, all because of friendship. So I will keep bringing your comments, but brother Sally, you have any question or have anything to say to what Isaac was saying? You are muted.
you are muted.
Thank you, Anthony Jackson. I think you are making salient points. The Bouaca administration needs to do more to convince the Liberian people. But like I try to say on another network, the problem with Liberia is the culture of impunity. That's what's driving all these things. We have a culture of impunity. It is from the get-go. You know, when we reward people that do evil, what happens? What the culture of impunity does, it emboldens other people. That's all that it does. So Prophet Key can go and insult Giuliani. I mean, I condemn it, but he can do it because he feels he will get away with it.
But Sally, it's still not the kind of case that the government will say, no, I'm not going to get involved with this. We're not going to let the case go to a logical conclusion.
Yeah, but
that's the kind of cases
it's the
that
same
people
thing
will
I'm
really
saying.
do that.
I understand, but it's the culture of impunity during the Ellen Johnson administration. Just like Anthony Jackson is saying, the recycling of these bad people. I know during Ellen Johnson's administration, even the current national security advisor to the president, Kofi Wolves, he was a public witness. He got accused of embezzlement. He's supposed to go to the LSCC. LA interfered. One of the new representative, what's his name? Musa Belete. He also was hauled before the LSCC. In fact, Ellen own words as the president, she said, I can put my head on chopping board for him. You can't do that as the president. If you set up LSCC to investigate financial crimes, allow the process to play out without any interference from the government. If your person is not guilty of the crime in being accused, they will be let go if they allow the process to play out without any interference. So those are the cultures of impunity we've been practicing. You know, people can use their bully puppet to do whatever they want to do. So it's just a continuation. And we will always see it until one leader in Liberia stands up and says no more. We will always see these things happen. That's what keeps emboldening people to do these things. Most of the appointments in the JMB administrations, these are people with tinted characters. Why recycle them? Just like Anthony Jackson said, are they not qualified people? They are qualified people. And when we talk about qualification, it's not, like I said, it's not because somebody went to school. I have some credentials, but I can't go to the hospital to work. I'm not a doctor. I have credential, but I can't work in the. I can't be a doctor. I have credential, but there are jobs that I can't do. I'm not qualified for it. That doesn't mean I'm not educated. Qualification and education, that's the two different things we have to distinguish. Liberia has not been able to distinguish between education and qualification. Just because a man is educated does not mean he's qualified to do anything. He can't.
But you see, brother, just Gerald, you see, the brother struck a very good point. But you see, you know, this topic, I think Bouaka is a complete letdown. Because even if you say you wanted to get involved with this case with Prophet Key, right? Is that how you're going to do it? First thing, every good leadership under this heaven will be acknowledged for setting example on its own. Prophet Key is your son. Even in the home, you are a good parent and you're doing good parenting. You set example on your own children. Even if Prophet Key has insulted everybody in Liberia for Bouaka to be president, and he continued to dally in it, and somebody took him to court, Bouaka and people should have the common sense to say, my man, the thing you've been doing, that's correct. So they think we gotta go talk to Julie, or you know, they think my man, we gotta you can't not correct. You gotta answer to the thing yourself. But nobody doing it. They just arrogantly go and say, you know the prosecute case. When you know the prosecute, I don't know with lawyer, right? Not the prosecute is a Latin word meaning what? Not interested in going forward, right? Or abandoning of the matter. Then woman say, I abandon my case. I got 5 video recording where the man is cursing me as a woman in simple English. I'm embarrassed by this. How is the lawyer telling us he abandoned the case when the woman crying?
No, but Anthony Jackson, let us be fair and equitable here, because I'm also following that case.
Let's start the debate.
Let us not drag JMB into this. The lawyer.
Why you wouldn't drag JMB?
I'm coming to that myself. The president don't really. I mean, let you go ahead. I'll come to you.
This is what is happening.
Why JMB cannot be a part of it when he is the head of the government? He controls prosecution.
No.
He's the one that can call the minister. I'll let you speak. He can call the minister and say, why y'all withdraw the case?
Yeah, but let us look a little deeper and not get so emotional and and just say things, you know, that we've not dug deeper into. Because this person that got involved with the case, he's an advisor, maybe legal advisor to the president.
Yes.
As a legal advisor to the president, he still runs his firm, or he still works. It doesn't mean that he completely works with the government. He's an advisor. But from what I learned from the case, he's also on the defense team of Prophet Key. So even though I advise the president, I'm still practicing privately on this side. So I'm coming. So I'm playing dual role. I advise the president, but I'm still practicing on this side. So if I'm representing this client, the burden of proof is on Julie Andy and her legal team to prove that this man is guilty of this thing. Now, on the grounds the case was dismissed.
But that's I'm not interrupting you, right? Yeah. But that's what Julie Andy is saying.
Yes.
I got videos where the man talk about me having sex with people before they give me job. I got videos of how the man caused my private part and all of these things. I think I can convict this man. I think this man will be convicted. Don't not prosecute the case. Don't drop the case, and still drop it.
I'm not talking about. No. I'm not talking about the evidence.
Let me give a simple response to
Anthony Jackson. 1 second. I'm not talking about the evidence. I'm talking about dragging the president into this case. The person who
let me respond to that quickly.
The person who made the motion.
Okay. Let's use that as a question. We'll come back to you, Brother Salif. And
let me respond to it quickly.
Let's use that statement as a question. Yeah. Let Isaac respond to that. Isaac, why are you dragging the president?
When I was asked the question on the Julius Jess show, my answer was plain and simple. He couldn't argue against. The president appointed a legal advisor.
Yes.
The legal advisor had done something that is doubly wrong. Has the president reprimanded him? No. If the president has not reprimanded him, what you think should be my assumption? He endorses it. But this is simple. Law is what? Law is what? It's reasoning. You work for the president. I am saying the president gave him directive. If the president says, oh, I gave him directive, what action has he taken since it is now known that the man action is in conflict with established principle of law? No private prosecutor will have an interest in your case, marching around with evidence in her hand, and you know the prosecute the case without her consent. Nowhere under the heaven happens. Nowhere. No.
But that's not how the law works. Giuliani has a lawyer in the court too. So her lawyers. We call her private prosecutor because let's define the words. Let's define the words. A private prosecutor.
Let's start the basic. 1 minute, Isaiah, I'll come back to you, Brother Sally. This case will move from being a civil matter to be a criminal matter.
Right.
The government took over because the government criminalized his action.
Right.
So once it's criminal, Judy Andy now becomes a private prosecutress.
Right.
She no longer is prosecuting directly. The government is. So before the government, now she becomes the principal witness for the government. So in the future, the government will put on a stand and she will tell how she be embarrassed and shame and disgrace, right?
Yes.
Before you not prosecute a case, and that's come to you, I say, before you not prosecute a case of a private prosecutress, is it not going to be an agreement that the private prosecutor say, you know what, I lost interest in the case, you guys can go and grab the case?
That is the established procedure in dealing with such matter. And I said to the people today that look, to show that the principle, this president is dangerous, tomorrow another official of the Unity Party government, for example, will be engaged in drunk driving, hit your family member, kill the president. Because you as individual citizen, you cannot prosecute crime. You got to go to the scene, county owner and citizen solicitor. You carry your case there. You had a picture here. Patrick and I were driving, or Darrell Dillon were driving. Under the influence, they came, my son died. They didn't want to do anything. You're pre-prosecute them. The same government, based on what they're doing now, we tell you, oh, but the evidence not sufficient. So we can prosecute. We know it. This is not the way the law works. The private citizen who goes to complain on the basis of a crime being committed against him or her, that person, before you drive the case, you got to convince them. You got to say to them, look, madam, the thing you brought is sufficient, is insufficient to convey. And we will not be able to do that. We will not do that. But you have no conversation with the woman, not whatsoever. She is home and she hearing on Facebook that the president, legal advisor, without any color of respect, without any color of right, without any due regard to her, have gone there and called the city solicitor and the county attorney and instructed them based upon what President Bouaka told him. And say,
so one question.
If you say Bouaka did not expressly give the instruction, what action has he taken against his legal advisor who had done this damage to our legal system?
So one question, Anthony Jackson, one quick question. If Bouaka has appointed you as his legal advisor and you are still practicing privately, and somebody has a case, hold on, and somebody has a case, and they hire you as their defense counsel, and you went to court, everything you present there, should people accuse you that it's the president because you are
but my man, first thing the man is wearing double hat, right? So it's difficult to even distinguish. But here is the thing, brother. Here is the thing. And I don't want you to obfuscate the fact. No private defendant will go and instruct the Anthony or the county Anthony and say, no, the possible case. It's not possible to happen. What authority does that man have who represents key to go and tell county Anthony, an institute, an organ agent of the government, say, no, the possible case? You can't do it. You can only be a government. You have to only be.
You can file a motion.
He can file a motion and say on the grounds of insufficient evidence.
But brother, no, but here is the thing. No, here is the thing. Yeah, he is not a one. No, but no, Jeru.
File a motion. Yeah.
Jeru, what we are discussing, let's not obfuscate the fact. What we are discussing here is not that a motion was filed to not prosecute this case.
Exactly.
The lady said an instruction was given by the president legal advisor instructing the state solicitor to not prosecute her case. That's what she said. That's what is on the record. We should not bring facts not in evidence. Let us not bring facts not in evidence.
Where's the proof that the president instructed him? She's only
the president. If you say the president did not instruct him, if you say the president did not instruct him, what action has the president taken against him to reprimand him for bringing this embarrassment on the government?
Why if the president doesn't want to interfere with the case? Why if he just want to stay neutral?
How will he not want to how will he not want to interfere with the case when it is a legal advisor that influence? Because you know one thing that wrong in our country, which you're trying to have from, is the culture of sycophancy. The legal advisor to the president goes with a bigger cloud. He goes to a city solicitor. He gave him directive. And you see, they're supposed to say, no, you think they will fire them? These people are being intimidated by the legal advisor. This is the president agent talking to them. Please not let prosecute this case. The woman say, how can you not let prosecute the case when the evidence in my hand is overwhelming? But this is what I want to draw your consideration. On what basis can anybody not prosecute? What are the basis for not prosecuting cases? Insufficient evidence. I got sufficient evidence.
I understand that. I just want us to be careful not to make a breach.
I think if the president was not involved, a press release would have been issued and draw a line of demarcation and say, Mr. I don't call the burger, say, what the guy need? They my legal advisor here when they're here only, and I don't want to say him. But the president have not clarified anything. All right, and the people say, County Anthony is taking instruction from the president advisor.
Let me get a breach, guys. Hold on your piece. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching, this is Blaze TV Radio. We have the studio, our man Shigu Kuruma is in studio in Monrovia, and we have Anthony Isaac Jackson as our panelist guest today. We have Brother Salif is always here with us. Ato Sola is always here. So please keep your comments coming because I'm enjoying the comments already, and we'll read your comments. So you will also participate in this process. But as you guys know, we have our laws and our rules here. You cannot insult. You can engage the issue, but you cannot insult. So if you insult, we're not going to read your comments. And if you insult more than once, probably we're going to just block you, so we don't have to deal with you. So before I go back to Isaac and Brother Salif, let me come to Ato.
Yeah, before you go to Ato. Before you go to Ato, for me, I just sitting now. You're just talking.
I told you we're going to put you in the
put you in the corner.
I'll come to you, but I'll come to you. I want to ask you. You myself, we are here. I'll come to you. Just hold your peace. I'll come to you. Ato, the point that Isaac is raising, and I'm kind of leaning to that point, is
I know you do.
The advisor of the president. It has the ear of the president on legal matters. You tell the president what kind of legal action that will be in favor of the government, that will benefit the president, that will not be evasive of the protocols and governance processes, that will not bring shame and disgrace to the government. Keita, if I can get his name right, goes to the prosecutor, the county attorney, which is I think fourth level or third level.
Third level.
Prosecutor. Go to the state solicitor, who is a fourth level prosecutor, and says, with Waka hanging on his back. Waka hanging on his back. And tell the state solicitor and say, your money not a prosecuted case. Was it possible for them to say no to him?
Yes, but before I come on to do that, let me ask you a question. I'll ask you 3 questions.
Isaac will answer all the questions today.
No, because I said you open the whole Bible of law. So I want to ask you, what are the charges against Prophet Key? Just name few of them. What are the charges against?
So him? I think she got criminal coercion, which is the critical one for which the government got involved. I think she got I think slander, I think harassment, you know, the on and on those are the things that she brought to court.
Criminal coercion,
defamation.
the simple language of the criminal coercion. What does that stand for in the Liberian community? If someone, I said, Tony, how will you understand in the Liberian community?
Criminal coercion is where somebody insult and threaten you and say, if you don't do this, I will do this. You did. So yeah, because Giuliani she carries the title of an ambassador, right? Something that was just given to her or the courtesy for what she does for the cultural center. And so this person is issuing verbal threat. If you don't relinquish that cultural ambassador title, I will do this through your. See, the guy say all kind of nastiness. I'm not even comfortable to say on national radio, right? So those were things that he said, and I showed the citizen solicitor must have seen the evidence, listen to what she got in your hand before they drew all the charges.
Yeah, but you see the reason why I ask all this question, because everybody just jumping to the throat of President Bouaka, but you're forgetting to know that President George Madden, we have passed the criminal act that decriminalized free speech. When Prophet Key made no comment, where was he?
No. This is what. No,
let me explain
this. This is what President George Weah did. If you go and say Minister so and so Gibson, Minister Gibson, you stupid. Minister Gibson cannot sue you. That's what the law says. But if you go to Minister Gibson and say, Mr. Gibson, you stole $5,000 from Exit. Now you are crossed the line. You are making accusation, directly playing on my reputation. So now you have to answer to it. If you spoke it on radio, like we're talking, it will be slander.
Let me explain it because
go ahead, Isaac.
Let me explain this because I was there when Liberia acceded to what President Weah legalized subsequently, which is called the Table Mountain Declaration. The Table Mountain Declaration came about as a result of journalists, reporters gathering in South Africa in 2007 and basically touring with the idea and saying that, look, reporting in Africa is difficult because every time you bring a government official, you report on a person strongly, they will use other criminal defamation, put you in jail. So it is not a very friendly environment to practice. And so they decided to encourage African government to accede to this Table Mountain Declaration from South Africa. So Liberia acceded under Madam Selig and President William formalized it. What the law says, it only decriminalizes what? Speech offenses for government officials. So, for example, in Liberia, one of the law that was really used, and it was used prominently most of the time with the Doe administration, I think Taylor people use it too, was criminal malevolence. That say you cannot say spiteful, mean things about government official to bring their credibility in disrepute. They will put you in jail on a criminal malevolence. This is not being used anymore. This is what President Weah then passed. Like, decriminalize it. So when you cause a government minister now and say government minister, they're not going to bring you on that. Notwithstanding, if you call somebody and their president say, but I'm not government because the title I carry here is just an honor. So I will come in my name as a private citizen. A private citizen is not exempt for bringing criminal action. And you understand it better? So Giuliani here is a private citizen, not exempt from bringing criminal action, went to the court, explained her issue and said, look, this is what the man had done. And so I want to bring criminal action. She had a right to go civil, right to file a civil action. In America, how you got it? Eugene Carroll sued Donald Trump on the same slender thing and speech and what it called. Even in America, even though the America has what First Amendment, which is a guaranteed free speech. Yes, 24 states in America still got criminal defamation on their books. So private citizens in those states, Kansas State, Massachusetts, private citizens, if you say mean things about them, they can go and bring criminal action. This is what Julie did. Julie brought criminal action. She didn't sue civilly, correct? And because she brought, so in that honor what President Weah, I want to draw the line. President Weah decriminalized speech offenses for government officials. that used to use criminal malevolence to stop stop private citizens from scrutinizing them or critiquing them. That's what President we are did. Even it ties in with this our Alula Kamara Freedom of Information Act.
Right.
Free speech is not a currency for people to intentionally spread malicious lies against fellow citizens. It is not. It's not currency. It's not. It's not only that say okay, you must just go and just cause people because we decriminalize something. So Julie brought it in the criminal context.
Okay, in the criminal context,
yes,
we the government,
right.
Yes. Yeah. As a government, the government have a responsibility to look at the case and see whether it is feasible for them to prosecute the person. Plus,
before you go to court, Isaac, not Isaac, sorry.
It's not necessary for them to spend taxpayer money to do that. They will still this case did not rise to the level of what you were thinking. I know that you wanted the criminal charges against this man, but somewhat you were involved with government. Even if you claim to be private citizen, you should have done that civilly. Mr. SD, I think you can back me on this. Because it should have stayed in a civil.
Let me just say this. Let me just say it before Isaac come in. Let me say it before Isaac come in. Let me say it before Isaac come in. And Isaac will put it best. If you, before the government makes a decision to go to court, you have to look at the depth of evidence you have. You have to look at the preponderance of the evidence you have. Okay? So when the government decided to sue Prophet Key, they already determined that there was sufficient evidence to prosecute him. There is a possibility also that when you sue and you rely on a piece of evidence and it's evasive, and you cannot prosecute the case. But in this case, there are video evidence that the private prosecutors has. There are things she has that she can show to the judge, to the jury, and say, look at the man talking about me like this. Okay. Look at the man telling people what I don't do, and he say I've done them. So the government has not reached to that point to determine whether the evidence that Judy Andy has.
Robert, let me just jump in there. You talk, you take the whole time. Robert, here is the two things I will say quickly. Your thing is first in the way the government acted is strange. If you want to knowledge prosecute a woman case, I don't want to care her case with you. You want knowledge prosecute a simple I'm going to solve the other understanding. You want knowledge prosecute do us some courtesy. Call her in. And they think you brought here a little will go to court and I win you. So we won't do A, B, C, and D. Government, why you don't do that? They who brought her case before you went and charged them with criminal coercion. Oh, so by the time the woman go to her, she resting, you just knowledge prosecute case in her absence. The law says you can't do that. That's the first thing. The second thing, when you say, oh, but why she didn't go civilly? The woman, you can't just jump and go to civil action, right? You know why you go to civil action? You got to look at the deeper pocket. You look at Prophet Key for long, you look at Prophet Key for long. Prophet Key, when I sue you for money damages, you don't even get time her in Liberia. You get money to give me. So you didn't want to waste your time to go to long, drawn or civil action. So she said, no, I may not. I'm just thinking, right? I'm thinking aloud. Because when you go there,
she sued for $5 million.
Okay, right. So she must have done an attachment. Okay, she must have done an attachment. But she's looking at all of these things and say, but this is going to be a long, drawn out fight. So let me go criminally. Let's hold a man on the ground, but you can't force the plaintiff in the case. But why you go the way? Why you go the way? She has to make a determination along with her lawyer, along with the lawyers that she has. Make a decision.
Let me ask you a question right there. I don't want me. I said, me ask you a question right there. It said, my man, wait, man, you never forget it. You got shot, man. I say, I wanted to ice right there. Yeah, you got shot, man. You can't forget. The idea of pursuing the criminal process, could it speak to also the flight risk that Prophet Key carries with him?
I think the even issue as the Republican on the mayor because the court said determined that the mayor they will run away and go to Morocco quick. So they got to hold him on the ground. So so people in the case determining how to proceed to hold the man to account for the egregious crime he's committed. So they determine and say, look, but our government behave in a very strange way that Somebody brought a case to them. Even if you want not prosecute a case, the law say at least you must acquaint her with the facts. Say, look, they think we're not win. We won't waste time your money. So why didn't explain all of that to her and not prosecute the case in her absence? This is where our doubt is. This is why we say the government brought in politics instead of the law, and they violated the law and they did violence to the law.
All of us here, we are holding Bouaka feet that he didn't do. None of you here show any proof that the government did not get in contact with the
no, she said that.
Hold on, Mr. Jackson. Hold on. So there's two
the one that she said, not sufficient. They almost said the poor drop the case without my consent.
Jesse, you're gonna make me to forget now.
Don't forget. Go ahead. Jesse, let me hear, man.
I was warning you. The plaintiff, which is Jesse Madam, if she even said go to the civil court, I said the same thing before with Bouaka, you crush it, I'll come back to it. If you go to the civil court, you know that they will not be able to do this. That's not your decision, that's the court decision. Why don't you sue the man for $8 billion?
No, but the question you're asking, I'm trying to ask a question. You say we have not shown any evidence. If the evidence you show, if the woman go to the media and say,
Mr. Giroux, the evidence you show is evidence that the woman already seen. It's not to say that.
But the woman said that evidence. The woman said that evidence.
Talking about the man cannot pose a threat to you when he's sitting there in Morocco and talking Tabata. You need to see it. But
brother,
the second I want to bring to Mr. Jackson, I told you about the code. I said, why they say that they could not sue the administration in the code? You say, oh, but the code not trustworthy. The idea, you are a lawyer, if I come to you with not it's sufficient evidence, you will not prosecute. So if you don't sue and have evidence that I sue who? I'm sure with that of Prophet Kiti, I'm talking about the one that the administration, they were talking about the violation or the abuse that Bouaka carried.
Oh, the violation of the law. Okay, we come back. Let me go to Shebu.
So I'm talking about all my basket. So hold on. No.
Yeah, no, we'll come back to that for you.
Because
Shebu wanted to say something earlier.
The idea, my brother will come right after me. You're putting in the corner too. They put all in the corner here. The idea here is this. If you say that, oh, you can't trust the code, you don't trust
I'm not saying I can't trust it. I said the code has to.
Anthony Justin, let me come in. Even I can say that you don't trust the code because
in a way. Yeah.
Okay, so let me say this. If you go in the Supreme Court, whatever, or the International Criminal Court say you go there for something, they say, okay, have you tried this before? It happened that you went to court and you filed, say, yeah, I get my document here, we filed for this grievance, and say we brought this thing to their attention, but the court will only need this tampering, so nothing happened. But this is the same problem I have with the attorney, because we want to change Liberia. We don't want to change Liberia just from the middle. We want to change Liberia from the top to the bottom. So everybody must do their fair share. If the code not working, if we claim the code not working, go to the court first. File against the administration. If the court decides, oh, you don't have to go,
he won't take precedence. Brother, let me. I'm sorry, I don't want you to crash land, but which one take precedent, right? If you have a criminal matter and a civil matter, the criminal matter take precedent. Even in the O.J. Simpson case, you know O.J. Simpson, the O.J. Simpson, the old case that happened, I think it was I don't know, early 80s or late 90s, somewhere there. But late 80s, right? O.J. Simpson case, the first thing was a criminal element that came into sharp focus. Because the government, the key responsibility of government is to protect life and property. The woman said, that man threatened him and left. He talking mean thing about me. He won't violate. He not do that. He not do that. So the criminal thing took precedent. Even if you want to go civilly, you got to deal with the criminal element. Then you can go civilly. But like you said, you talking about evidence. What I saw here, and what Julie brought.
You missing my point.
Oh, you don't sound it.
My man, you are muted. Hold on.
Take it, you muted.
So let me finish. But Isaac and after I want you to give Sheku something.
Yeah, but let me say what you were talking about. What you were talking about,
the next level. I want to elevate it to the next level.
We're talking about You got to
Hold on, I want to ask Brother Salif a question.
No, but let him talk. I don't understand what he's talking about. I thought he was still on the criminal case.
Government man, the man want to defend George.
No, it's not government man.
I'll come to you, Arthur. I promise I'll come to you. The question I want to ask, and Arthur, you also respond to the question, and I will actually ask the question to Brother Salif after Shegu make a comment. If the man campaign for Joseph Boakai, openly campaign for Joseph Boakai, and Joseph Boakai gets elected, and this man was sued, and the same government that he campaigned for to get into power, not a prosecute a criminal case against him, is it not sufficient to talk about government meddling into the case or playing Diddy Bar with the case? I want you to respond, but let's go to Shegu. Let's go speak what you wanted to say. Shegu, go ahead.
You can put people in the corner.
Mama, we apologize. Come
we ain't got a problem with that. I sat here listening to you people. I was going back and forth because I was hungry and I was doing something at the back.
That's why I say go and eat and you come back. Then you say
Jackson is well informed. Gibson is well informed about legal things. And Solo, he said he's a constitutionalist. You guys are well informed about legal things. But I'm going to not responding in favor of the government, but I'm going to look at two things that Jackson said. One, he said the president came to this position with lies. He knew he wasn't well, and the president said he well. And that's why he didn't even stand for 45 minutes to speak. Two, government is melting. Joseph Boakai, not your government. Joseph Boakai is melting in the case with Judy Andy. Let me say this very clear. Joseph Boakai is not sick. Joseph Boakai was sick, but now, with what was said, Joseph Boakai is already in hospital and taking his treatment. But there has been no hospital document that Joe Boakai is sick. Joe Boakai is even getting more handsome, walking stronger.
Comrade, defend the issue. Go ahead, comrade.
Joe Boakai, if you see Joe Boakai recent movement video, you will come to understand that, you know, sometimes when Joe Boakai had his money, but apparently he knew where he was doing his money. But now that government is taking care of Joe Boakai, you see how handsome Joe Boakai is. He's even walking faster. Last video I saw for Joe Boakai, he's moving faster than you thought he was during the time of the election. Number two, Joe Boakai is not melting into ND case as is being said. Prophet Key said, I got the video. I may not want to play on the show.
No, we don't want to play. We've seen it. All of us seen it.
He wasn't rude in that particular video, but I said it already. Prophet Key said, since I came to this country, the government that I brought to power, when I called Joe Boakai and say I in Liberia, he said, I will call you. From the
play.
I'll play, don't worry.
Why are you looking for A? Let's go to Brother Salif.
No, I don't have to look for it. It's set.
Okay, go ahead, play.
I listened to it myself.
You're about to use the bridge, and in time the bridge will throw you in the water. I risk everything to bring the government to power. When Henry Costa came out to lie on Joseph Boakai that he raped, I was the only person that stood up to Henry Costa, and Henry Costa dragged that whole thing down because I had audio on a photo. Then you think I was so much disgrace? I was coming for Boakai. When Costa were about to tell the Liberian people at that crucial time, close to election, went for second round, that Joseph Boaga rape. Where were you when I came out and fought Henry Costa? You're going to forget. You're not forget Kweso. Where were you when Henry Costa was ready to come out and tell that Bremco say President Joseph Boaga that rapist? Now the only person that came out and fought Costa only for the papel to become president. And the country, Jojo Noah in the country, me and myself, Ben Coy, one another, we've been talking. I reached the point I told Jojo Boaga that the people coming to arrest me, I heard that Cherokee today and lawyer coming to go to court. He said, I will call you. Up to now, Jojo Boaga not call me. You don't get conscious. You don't know how you became president. You don't know that my sweat and my mouth.
Okay, so we see the basis of his. We see the basis of his.
You can see there's no matter. Even the guy who being prosecuted came that the government.
No. But it's the thing. I mean, let not try to obfuscate what we all listen to. What the brother is Sekou, right? Yeah. What Sekou is trying to do is a classic Orwellianism. That what he's dallying in. You know, George Orwell or William. This is the guy who say the corrupt party ask us to know the evidence of our own eyes and our ears. That man is knowing the evidence of his own eye and ear. This prophet key is issuing a subtle threat to Boaga people and say, I cause people for you. I came to the time here. I'm going to jail. You won't do anything. After he did the press conference, what happened? The government reacted in a knee-jerk manner. Went there and not let consequence the case with immediate effect. And you are not disturbed by it.
That's why I wanted the video to be played. I said, this is why I wanted the video to be played.
You are not disturbed by this, brother. What are you doing?
That video.
I am bothered that Boaga will want to tarnish the image of his government on account of a man who cannot distinguish between a noun and a pronoun. That prophet key better you give your government bad knee. He threatened you, so your people had to rush to the city solicitor, intimidate them, and then not let prosecute the woman without even talking to her. Exactly. Is that what you call fairness? This is bad as bad can be, brother. You can't defend it. Stop doing this.
That's how he's seeing it.
Sekou,
no, man, don't do this. It's bad.
We are 24 minutes down there. Are we going to take calls or not?
No, I'm not sure Shatta is relaying us tonight.
Okay, so that's okay. Then let Davi do it. Isaac and Salif, I'm going to go to Salif back. Salif, this video open more eyes than they were open. This man, his outburst in this video scared the crap out of Joseph Boaga and his government that they have to rush to his rescue and not prosecute a case that has evidence to convict this man. That's how I see it. How do you see it?
Let me get water to drink. Let me drink some more water.
I listened to Councillor Jewel yesterday. I followed the entire program from beginning to end. And he delved extensively into this case. And what he said was, what Giuliani did, she registered the case in 2 different courts, civil law court and criminal court. And it's the same plaintiff, it's the same defendant in everything. So you can't you cannot have the case like that. And that was one of the reasons that this case was thrown out. The only thing that I'm saying is I don't want us to be over exaggerate some things, but also quickly moving to drag the precedent, because according to you, Mr. Jiro, you are saying the only evidence is the woman herself said it. So why would it? That's not an evidence. I can also get up and say, if I'm aggrieved and my case was thrown out, I can say, oh, President Boaga instructed his people to throw my case out. What is the evidence? What's the proof? I cannot take her at her word. She has to bring the tip. She has to bring the written communication where President Boaga issued that directive through his legal advisor. Then you say anybody can stand up who is aggrieved and say, "Oh, the president did this to me." What is the proof that Bouaka was the one who did it? That's all I'm trying to say. We cannot take Julie Andy's word. She's angry, so she can say anything. She's frustrated, and she shouldn't be treated that way. It's not fair that her case will be thrown out. If the case has no merit, let them go through the proceeding and let us see what happens. So she's angry. So out of her anger, her assumption is President Bouaka did this to me. But what's the proof that he did that? We don't have the proof. Just because the man is a legal advisor to the president, but still he still run his private operations, and he can represent anybody. So everybody who's accused of anything in that country, as long as this Keita person gets involved, that means it's Bouaka.
The president.
But you see where the trouble with with conflict of interest comes in.
Yeah.
And you see how it said, you see the danger of what conflict of interest. Now we can distinguish whether he's a private practice man or he's a government legal advisor to Bouaka, who going to be taking political decisions to undermine the judicial process in our country. This is a dangerous precedent that Bouaka is setting, and you guys are encouraging it.
No, I'm not encouraging it.
No, but then let that man divest his interest in that thing he's doing. He has taken on a government job to be legal advisor. If it was a nominal job, Bouaka would not have announced him. The fact that they announced him is a public notice to even the solicitor. Like he said, there's a low rank in the judicial system, in the justice system. It's a low ranking officer. All right? I mean, wait to the presidency. He can't wait to the court there and say, gentlemen, you're not a prosecutor. You say you want direct evidence. The circumstantial evidence before you are in OEA. The circumstantial evidence is that Julie Andy case is no longer in the court.
All that I'm saying, don't be quick to drag the president.
But I am saying I'm dragging the president in because the subject in question. I'm dragging the president in because the subject in question works in the presidency, and the president has not expressed any disapproval. For me, what it connotes is what is an assent. The president in agreement.
But that's
the same. Why is the president not disturbed by this? Why is President Bouaka, who promised to uphold the law, will see a woman being violated, her case being dismissed in a frivolous way, and he's not disturbed? He's not concerned. Why?
He's concerned about the country.
But this is not a good precedent the country setting.
Have you seen President Joseph Biden make any statement on all the Trump cases? What are the Republicans accusing?
The Trump cases. I'll answer the question. Let me answer the question quickly.
No, hold on. Everything that happens to President Trump, the Republicans say is Biden. They prosecute him for his own crime. They say it's Biden that is doing it. Everything they say is Biden. Even the fraud case that just ended in New York, they say
Biden weaponizing the FBI.
So why would you want to drag the president into everything that the man is an advisor? That's all that I'm saying. I'm not. I see the
but wait, let's clarify these things. It's a good example that you brought. He just brought a good example. Let me speak to the example he brought.
Let me recalibrate here. First of all, Brother Salif, direct evidence is the direct testimony of the person, the witness. Judy Andy is a witness.
Yeah,
is a witness for the government. When she said they dropped my case without telling me, it is in an evidential statement that you can use unless the contrary is proven. But that's number clarification.
My problem
number two,
she said it's the president. That's my problem. She said
number two. I'm coming to the president partner. Number two, governance. Governance is clear. If you are in public office and somebody who worked for you in the public space, there's something out there that brings your name down. You have to make clarification. That's why you have the press secretary. You have the information minister. You got people who will say the president has nothing to do with this. The president does not like this. This is not the way the president wants to run this government. You can say that to clear your name. But Bouaka office has not spoken. The government has not spoken. The Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Information has not spoken. Now, I'll give you a typical example. A fellow worked for me. He did something. You know what the state did? The state want me to confirm or deny whether I had knowledge. I had to write my own affidavit and tell them that this thing the man had done, I have no knowledge about it. And these are the action I'm going to take. And I did take the action. So you have to be able to exonerate yourself. Anytime the president is mute on an important matter as this, like as I said, you are equally culpable, or you can be tied to the thing until you exonerate yourself. And what I say is doing exactly.
Let me just say this quickly let me say this quickly because he brought Trump in, bro. Look, and Gibson make a point, and the point is qualified under this aphorism, right? The aphorism is you can share the labor of the great, but you can't share the spoil. The head of the government take responsibility for what happening in the government. If it's only bad in the government, we're not going to look for somebody else. There's another principle in law. Talk about the agent-principal relationship. This man, Boubacar, is a principal. The legal advisor is an agent. The agent is acting on behalf of the principal. He goes another person for a case, and you still want to exculpate Boubacar from the action? How can you do that with clear conscience?
Let me ask this.
Let's go to the comments. Let's go to the comments. Arthur, let's go to the comments.
Let me ask Mr. Jackson, then you go to the comment. Mr. Jackson will go through punches.
I didn't know the show was enjoyable like this. I didn't guess it.
I will mute you and put you in the
please.
Go ahead.
Do the government have the will and power to dismiss the case?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's say in this case, the government of Liberia believe that the evidence is not sufficient.
No,
in
the absence,
bro, we're not questioning Gibson and I.
I'm not finished. The communication that you put talking about, saying they not communicate with her. Maybe they did in writing. Maybe they send an info. But we know that they can stress out the truth a little bit. If you go interview the woman right now, she might have something different to say. If we go on record right now. So the government of Joseph Newman Boubacar have a country to run. It's not a household material to look after. They already spoken. You have decided that the case, there's no merit in it. Dismiss the case.
Okay, let me say this.
Even when she not get communication, the case is dismissed. We can issue apology, whatever, through the attorney that were prosecuting. Say, okay, sorry, yeah, I got a letter. I write it to you through your email. But it doesn't rise to the level that Boubacar had to make a statement. You're right.
But let me say this. Why are you speaking? Let me ask you why he's speaking. Do you know that Prophet Key can sue Julie Andy and claim lawyers' fees and say, you put me through this thing here. Now you don't have anything against me because of the government action. He can go and say, you put me through all of these things.
But you know, let me what I wanted to say to my brother. The small thing I want to say at this stage, because I know we got to move to something else. I thought you should be worried about the precedent that the government is setting. We are not disputing that government get power to not prosecute a case. Nobody's saying that. That's not what the argument. We say the way the government went about it is not correct. It's not correct. Assuming you yourself put Judy in your shoes. I mean, I want us to be empathetic. They say, well, you know, and I want to use strong word because I will offer it. They say, well, you're not getting him up being feeling. Judy is a female who is aggrieved. And the way the government went with it here is not correct. Now, you are saying the Boubacar are not forced to do it, but government pay people to stop for government. So those people who the government pay to talk for them are eating government money, information minister, data communication, press secretary, all of them. You just think they just want to sit down where government buy Nika outside, they will not explain it. So then what government paying them for? The government has an obligation to communicate to us what happened to Judy's case. Why is the government not talking to us? We are agreed. We are concerned. Judy is crying in the street for her rights. Her rights have been violated. Government pay people to talk. Nobody talking. Why?
You talking about
because the government is ashamed of itself. That's why they're not talking.
No.
The government is ashamed of itself.
You know what would be a shame for? a $100 million a drug case that the United States government presented evidence against the criminals.
My man, I join your government going to that.
That's the precedent.
My man, I join your government. We're not going to join your government. Let me go to the comment here. This one is coming from Arthur. This one is coming from Darius Slavuse Jackson. My man, keep quiet. Where were she? All the dangerous things that happen in the country. Well, Darius, instead of saying keep quiet, you just start with where were she when all the things were happening. That would have been more decent way.
No problem. I can take the.
Salia Sony said Boakai was the one who instructed a legal advisor to call the court because Prophet Key said he will pass side when pass side them if they didn't come to his rescue. That's what Prophet Key said. Anointed, how can the Table Martin Declaration surface Article 15 of the Liberian Constitution, which ends with you are responsible for the abuse of your freedom of speech. The Constitution is supreme to all social rights and classes. And Charlotte Sony comes back and said, Mr. Salif, that's you now, ST, who sends his legal advisor, did this thing. Has Boakai said anything about it? And the Anointed comes back as the presidential appointee. Aren't you walking at the will and pleasure of the president? And it's the same question come by whether this man was acting on behalf of the president. Councilor Keita is never on the defense team of Prophet Key. That we know that. They say Mr. Salif, that was a slip of tongue. Mr. Salif Sonny said there is no defense for his action. He has brought the office of the presidency to disrepute. What has Boakai said or done? And Abraham said, great presentation that praising some of you who spoke here. And this guy is using Facebook. He said, did you see him today? That's Prophet Key they are talking about. In Silent Sonny, Mr. Salif is speaking back to you again. If your child is constantly insulting elders in the community and they keep telling you about it without you doing anything, what does that presuppose? What does that presuppose? Do you need a scientist to determine that you are in the know and acting like a dassical? This one is a big English right there. So the question go back to you, Brother Salif. And that's why I like our commentators. The question go back to you. If your child was doing things in the community,
I really love
and
this.
You're not talking. It's not possible that the post say, Brother Salif know about it here.
I really love the show. The president's visit to Ghana, the government can even clarify it. What else do you think they're going to clarify? We don't even have any closer on the president. What else? The government doesn't clarify anything. The government, they don't. Right now, there's so many missteps. I listen to all the comments, and you are 100% right. The government should be able to. That's why we got the information ministry, we got the press secretary. They should be able to speak to these things. Listen, I see the conflict of interest is very glaring. I see everything that is happening. The only thing that I'm saying is for somebody to say the president instructed this person to do it, you should have the proof. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anybody is wrong. I'm just saying don't be too quick to say, oh, she said it, so it got to be right. Julie Andy is not the Constitution that when she speaks, then everything she said is right, because while she's suing for defamation, she brought her own supporters, and I've been following every video that dropped on Prophet Key at the court. They also causing Prophet Key's man.
Yeah.
That is already. I'm following the tape. You sue me about
the law, you are not protected. Under the law, you are not protected by any action that you generated. So if you go to start slapping people, before slapping you, can't go sue them for slapping you because you started slapping.
No, but then when you slap, then you get your pay. They don't need to go to the
No, but I think
we can't take the action of angry supporters seriously. Those are angry supporters, not really any angry supporters.
Anthony Jackson,
the angry supporter. So you're part of angry supporter action.
Time fast spent, guys. I will go to take your final comment, but I will start with Arthur, and I'll go to Brother Salim, and Brother Jackson will take us home. Arthur, your 2 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Johnson and my senior man, Salif. I want to thank Bless TV and my brother Sekou. Look, we understand for being coming from the pro-government aspect. I'm not defending the government entirely, but there's certain mistake the government been making, and we all know that. But if we just hold the debt bucket and want to dump it on this administration, I'll say, whoa, hold on. You know, if you say president, this is a mini case. It didn't even rise to any level of seriousness. This is the person cost my mind, cost the person mind. That's the kind of case. So if the government said, look, we're not spending taxpayer money to prosecute the person here, because that's what it's going to come to. The government had to go for research and all that. They did Prophet Key defending, just going to roll over and grease yourself up. No. So if the government look and say, man, the TA is not reached to the level. I understand Mr. Jackson idea. They should have let her know. But this is Liberia. Maybe they're rating this woman and she just put it to her lap and start blasting, saying that the president do the whole TA. The president set people to do the TA to me. We know our Liberian people. We know about the $16 billion that don't exist today. We know about it. So what I'm saying here, the government have the power to dismiss. The government dismissed because the evidence was not sufficient. Anybody can disagree. In America here, if they say Donald Trump should pay $300 million, he accepted and you roll over, no, he's going to appeal. So that's how it goes. That's one thing. Now, let's come to why the president not talking about this. This is nothing. Even the president, if you ask President Bouaka right now, he don't even say no about this. I can assure you. Because the man had to worry about the foreign counterpart that he had to deal with that had no names in Ghana. You know? We have that problem. That's a serious thing. And I want to tell my brother Sekou, he said Bouaka healthy. That's a lie. I'm a pro-government. Bouaka is not healthy. We are talking about hospital visit to hospital visit. You said there's no record. Who will document the president or hospital record? Who in Liberia? The people that you tell it right now, the people telling us that the president instructed an agent to slap the woman case out of the court. Then you want to tell me a JFK president that waiting for confirmation will say are documenting the president case? Look at the drug test they gave the president. They said they're doing drug tests. That drug test go retest it, it will be something different. Because somebody that taking propofol, that taking all those things, you will never pass drug tests. It's not to say you're taking drugs, but the injecting drugs that they're giving you is too much in your blood. It's not about cocaine in the street. So we know there's some mistakes. They're being problems. Even the appointees that come into government, we have problems with all that. But one thing I want to say to you people, all of you, Bouaka is a tribalistic man now, I believe it. Because Costa said it, I said Costa was talking Tabata. But look at all the things that he's doing. Even the 10-1 position, you want to remove the people and put the people you trust in. This is not how government works. Government, you're talking about people from China that doing business with America. You want them to kind of meet new face and you want them to pay $5 million? You see the port of Liberia. That's what we were joking when we were in container. You wearing shoes that nose open, then you want to tell the foreigner to pay you $1 million for their ship to dock. They will just laugh. Because they bundle $10,000 and send it to you, take it. You got to look at your standing. But look at the new headquarters we get. When you sitting in there and somebody walks in, they know that you mean business. All of us here know you go into the bank, you dress like you are a Jah Rastafari man. The bank will not give you a loan. But the way Mr. Jackson looking right now, suit and tie, you go to the bank. You say, my man will see what we'll do for you. The same thing in court. The way you appear in court, you appear your pants dragging off your butt. The judge will think that you are just a thorn in the street. We have to obtain ourselves in a way that will be respected in a international arena.
All right.
You know.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brother Salif.
Thank
your
you.
2 minutes.
I think Councillor Jackson was fantastic. But let me conclude like this. First and foremost, disclaimer, I am not for, I'm not against, I'm independent, I'm in the middle, I'm not for any party. And I just want to create balance. But let's look, let me begin few seconds for where we ended on the Julie Annie Prophet Key thing. They say what goes around comes around. She's cultural ambassador. I don't believe in selective outrage. Prophet Key did not start cussing today. I can name many other women that Prophet Key cursed, including the former First Lady Claire Weir. Where was Julie Andy? I knew of women that were killed, Gifty Lama and other women that suffered gravely under the previous administration. Where was Julie Andy? Or you wait until it touches you personally before you can speak out. And that's why emboldening people to do what they do. When Prophet Key started cursing women, all the Liberian women should have gathered and said, no, we cannot accept this. They allowed him to go ahead and curse anybody he wanted to curse. He cursed President Weir mother, cursed President Weir wife, cursed some other social media talk show hosts, women. He abused them. There was no outrage, but because now it touches Julie Andy or the whole country should rally behind her. That is selective outrage. When something is bad as Prophet Key is, it should be a national outcry. Everybody should condemn it. I have said on the show, and I will always say, I stand for women. I stand with Julie Andy. I stand with the soldiers' wives. I stand with everybody, including that young lady who got killed from bombing, who acid on her. I stand with every woman, but we cannot wait until something touches us personally before we can take steps, because if we do that, it will definitely touch us personally. When it comes to the president health, like Anthony Jackson said, the president might be physically weak. Sheku, no, we don't accept that. The man is sick. You can't say he's not sick. He's not in perfect health. He is sick. He is physically weak. He doesn't have the stamina. But mentally, he could not be loose. He could be still strong in his mind to be able to make decisions. The presidency is not to jog 5 miles every morning. He doesn't have to jog 5 miles every morning. He doesn't have to run to his office. The job of the presidency is to make decisions. So if his mind is still functioning to make decisions, he should make decisions. But what I see, I think people around him are taking advantage of his health, and they are pushing too much on him, and they are just doing things on their own, and he does not have the capacity to stop them, and that is a problem for the JMB administration. I mean, we can do a better job, and thank you for the show tonight. It's very interesting, and I encourage every Liberian tune into Blaze TV and let us keep this conversation going.
Okay, Isaac, your turn. But before Isaac speak, I just wanted to say that Isaac is free every Thursday, and he might be joining us every Thursday. 3 o'clock is always. I
want Isaac on this show every day. The man.
Yeah, the man. You know,
I'll be available Thursday. I'll do regular Thursday.
Every Thursday, I will be waiting for you. I will be waiting.
But you know, Gibson, let me thank my 2 other colleagues, the 2 other panelists, and I will pick up on the point the last speaker just made. You know, I've gone with President Salif to how you call this place, Botswana, and then I was on the same table with the ambassador from Zimbabwe, and exactly the same argument the Zimbabwe ambassador made, that the argument my colleague just concluded with. I said, Mama, why you guys still keeping up with Gabriel Mugabe like that? He said, he may be physically weak, but mentally he's alive. you know, it's a very interesting argument to make. The frame is not there. It is the frame that supports the mentor. You know, so that, I mean, we can say any kind of way we want to say it. I mean, the old man is our old man. I respect him. I love him. But we always agree, this is scientific fact. Certain age, even in America now, people are concerned about Biden's age. Not even about a pre-existing medical condition, as is the case with Bouaka. Bouaka has a pre-existing medical condition for which he carries a pacemaker. But even Biden's age, Biden who is in good health, his age is a problem. That certain age you reach, that cognitive frailty comes in. That's why people say, oh, they already own, you might not drive himself, you might not play with net, you might not do this. So, I'm saying this to bring home the point that even those who are around our own man, Mr. Bwaka, have to do well, not to exploit, where he is currently, because he's a senior citizen, he has a senior moment. He needs to take some time to pay attention to what's happening around. The government is starting on a very bad footing. There is this aphorism that says the first step the baby takes is the most exciting. All the who have children, ask all the mothers. The first time the baby walks, everybody happy because the baby walk forever. But if the first step is not exciting, then we should be concerned. It was Martin Luther King who said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. It doesn't matter where it starts from. It can be a small, tiny case. If the government doesn't construct itself, demonstrate itself to be respectful of the law, what else? Julie brought a small case. It's a test case for the government. See how the government has handled it. Embarrassing. Because Prophet King on social media cried on the government took a knee-jerk action. Today, the government got to be finding a way. Not even the government talking, because the government say, I don't even know how to explain it. Friends of the government got to find a way to explain it. And even while they're doing it, they're struggling. Because this is not the way to nullify prosecute cases everywhere around the world. The person who brought their case, even if you want nullify prosecute, get them involved, explain the facts and circumstances, why you may not win the case, why you don't want to waste taxpayer money. So when the person going, they will sleep well. You can't do it while the person to the hall and you say, oh, nullify prosecute case. Nowhere it happens. It's a violence that they done to the rule of law. It's a violence that they done to the rule of law. This cannot be justified on any ground. The other thing is, people are pushing Omen Bwaka. People feel entitled. Oh, Mr. Bwaka, we camping for you. We want to go to LTA. Then, for instance, our friend Patrick, and I'm concluding, Patrick Hunter is my own friend. He's a good friend. He's a broadcast journalist, but he got a radio station he's running. You get into LTA. He's conflicted. Beyond the man being conflicted, Patrick is now a deeply politicized Bwaka propagandist. How is he going to inspire confidence in the LTA? It's not going to be there. Kirsten Jeru, you won't go carry the radio station out to Liberia. You think you won't go to Patrick and say, Patrick, you please give me my frequency? Patrick and I will know you to be critical of Bwaka will give you frequency. You don't want to put people in this kind of places because when Gibson go to LTA, he want to be confident that he's dealing with somebody who is impartial and is scrutinizing a document on the basis of fairness. He can't get that out of Patrick Hunter. That's why he should not be there in the first place. But because he supported Bwaka, he wore his t-shirt. He's supposed to be, I want sometimes if I get real strong, he's a soulless Bwaka stooge. He's saying that. Is that going to help the country? We can't do this to Liberia. We can't give people job because they supported us. Even if we know they will not be effective where we send them. Even if we know that the presence there will disturb other people, will string away public confidence. You can't do that to the LTA. Right now, the LTA looks like a politicized institution when it's supposed to be a professional institution, technical institution. So I think Bwaka should stand his ground, tell some of the beginning, look them in the face. Madam Sally did that several times. There were people who say, but my friend, for example, my friend Wemo JP. Wemo is a good friend of mine. We joke every day. Wemo JP wanted to go to Lens and Man ever since doing Ellington. Yeah, I my man, the way he desperate to go to the place, I can't get there now. Ellen found way to, people who are desperate, who want that place and need it. Oh, I want to play. She will find way to say, my man, why are you desperate to go to the place? I was saying on this side here. In that way, you find a balance because people got ulterior motive for wanting to go to particular places. But Bwaka not doing so. He said, one other picking Vice President Nuka, they picking here. I'm told that he went to Makiweri. He couldn't make it there. They dropped him. Today, he Vice President Anuka. Who is he going to negotiate with? He know the language of negotiation to attract people to that sector? No, only because he wore a t-shirt. So he Vice President Anuka today. We don't want to be calling our friends name here, but it is not good for the government to be running on the basis of clientelism. Clientelism is where you give people reward because they supported you. You reward them with job because they supported you. My friend Dylan, yes, he's in the Senate, he's not in a appointed position. Ask Dylan, what is the qualifying credential you have to confront, to serve as chairman on foreign affairs and confront all the people who will be the faces of Liberia to the rest of the world? One paper he got, one experience he got. What kind of government is this? What kind of government is this? The man who confirmed me people to be ambassadors everywhere around the world, because the ambassador will go to the Committee on Foreign Affairs. The doyen of the cabinet is the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The man who confirmed me, he have never read the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. Never read it. He ain't no rack from it. So, brother, the country is at a difficult place. Bouaka will need to look for competent people, not people who wore a t-shirt. If you want Liberia to go forward, Bouaka, look for competent people, not people who wore your t-shirt. If you continue along the road, the demonstration those children calling for, it may likely carry you. It may likely carry you. You need to recalibrate. The people are calling for demonstration for April 6th. If you don't recalibrate, up to now, Bouaka is still acting as though he's oblivious of the existence of an opposition community. No opposition inclusion in the governance of the country. What is this? What is this? These are political concepts that Bouaka knows as a UPP president before he became United Party. UPP is a progressive party. UPP that Bouaka comes from is a progressive party. No inclusion. That was one of the mantra of Gabriel Bacchus Matthew. Peace to his venerated arches. How can you run a country in Africa and you treat opposition as though you are treating black snake, as though you are treating enemies? People who criticize you, Bouaka, they are not your enemies. They want the right thing to get done for the country. You need almost all the people in your cabinet. Not one opposition person there. Who brings a critical view on that table? Nobody. The thing that make how they call it, Abraham Lincoln powerful, the cabinet was composed of opposition, critical voices. The thing that made how they call it, Winston Churchill in England powerful, a cabinet has critical voices. And so Bouaka is failing the country. I think he needs to recalibrate. If he doesn't do so, the joke will be on him soon. I thank you for having me, and I look forward to coming next Thursday. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys. This is absolutely a great show here today. I don't have any closing comments, but I just want to say thank you, guys. And I will be at 3 o'clock for the correspondent report. As a matter of fact, we are almost completing the counties, and after we complete the counties with the correspondent, we have 16 vernaculars who will read the news in the various dialect, and so we hope we can make that kind of impact. But thank you, guys. Thank you, Isaac, Salif, and Solo. Great show. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, comrade.
Yes. I'm alone here now, and where is Sekou? Sekou, where are you? Sekou, where are you? Where are you, Sekou? Why you left, Sekou? Why did you leave, Sekou? Where are you now? Sekou left because he said Apohin Siale Tule. I don't know why he left. Okay, guys, thank you very much. And I really say thank you for coming. For those of you who continue to participate in our discussion with your comments, we will continue to do that tomorrow again. Please share our video anytime you can. You know, Blaze is new, so the Blaze is new, so we are still promoting Blaze, trying to brand the institution. It's not Group FM that everybody knows. Your Group FM been on the block for a long time, so please be our help for you to be able to promote us. We want to say thank you. We had a great show tonight. Thank you for your great comments. Thank you, guys, that you are responsible in your comments. Remember, we'll read your comments, so you want to present your comments in a way that it can be readable. And it's a promise. I will do my best to read as many comments as possible if I have the time. In fact, sometimes I will devote a whole 5 minutes to reading comments because I like the comments. They are very, very, very intriguing. People want to participate. And you who are writing your comment, you take time to type those words. So we want to recognize those words as well. But if you're cussing, then it's hard for me to read them. or if you're trying to attack people in a very demeaning way, then it's hard. Just be saver. You can be critical, harsh at the same time, but saver, and I will definitely read your comments. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Bye-bye for now.